Welcome to Virtual Expat, where we investigate the interplay between living overseas and living online. What happens to our online presence, our online persona, when we change countries? Does anything happen? Does one support the other? Does one conflict with the other? I don't know, but I wanted to find out, so I'm going to interview a lot of expats in order to get to the heart of this question. Is there interplay between our online selves and our geographically varied self? This is such a special podcast for me. I taught Ong in a private language school in Hanoi, Vietnam, about 10 years ago. Just before I got married, just before I moved outside of Vietnam to start a completely new life and move to a different country and all those kinds of things. And if I remember correctly, she was just about to leave to go finish her undergraduate degree in the US. And I feel like we were both on the precipice of something really, really, really big. And fast forward 10 years and being able to talk to Ong and through the premise of her onlineness and her expatness and all of that, and see her life through that viewpoint in English after all of these years, from that language classroom to a full-on conversation where there was, I think, one moment where I said, because the technology copped out, not because her language skills were so bad. So it makes me so happy to see how far she's come, how much she has done, and how many opportunities she has seized. I know this sounds cheesy. We're both adults, and I shouldn't have this crazy mama pride moment, but I do. And I'm sorry, Ang, but I gotta say it. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so excited on the person that you've become and the things that you're going to do in the future. Let's get started, because Ang can definitely tell you herself what has happened throughout the years, online and off. Thank you, Ang, for joining us today on Virtual Expat. Can you give us a brief overview of who you are?
Deb, thanks for having me today. My name is Anh. I am from Hanoi, Vietnam. And 10 years ago, I was a student at a language learning center in Vietnam, in Hanoi, Vietnam. And then I moved to the States to study abroad, undergraduate degree in fine art, and then a master's degree in fine art as well. And then I worked for a little bit of time here as well. And now I'm here in New York City, working as an art teacher.
Oh, you're teaching right now?
Yes, I am.
Oh, no.
That's why I was like, I understand how you feel.
Dear listeners, but just before the conversation, we were talking about how I burnt out on teaching, and it takes a long time to get to burnout, so don't worry. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
I'm actually doing okay with teaching, but I actually have taught in the various settings, peer position. And so I understand the amount of work put in and the expectations and the pay and just a lot of struggles surrounding what teachers should or shouldn't do.
For sure. I know you're teaching like a hands-on arts class or like a history of arts class, or what are you teaching?
I'm teaching basically any kind of art, making for middle school and high school kids at an academy in Manhattan.
Wow.
Yeah, the model is one-on-one, so I only have one student per class.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, it's very nice on the student. It's very nice on me too. It can be actually very challenging. Because sometimes the model can be a little bit uncomfortable to deal with if the student doesn't respond to listen or things like that. But so far it's going great.
Yeah. Very cool. All right.
Yeah. Especially I started studying art seriously after I moved here in the US, especially college level. And so that kind of foundation was never a thing in Vietnam. As you kind of know, the public education system there, it's kind of restricted on the STEM education.
Yeah. All right. So let's dive into your online life, shall we? So before you moved to the US, what did you do online? Whether it be on a computer or on your mobile phone, what kind of things did you do in Vietnam?
I remember my friend told me about Facebook. And actually, I remember she actually set up my Facebook account for me. We were just kids, and we were just like, okay, this is kind of like a trendy, fun thing to do, and so we just took it as if it was like a fun game to kind of get to know, and which really is super, easy. It wasn't anything like that. Just like a hop, like an activity to do outside of school. And I think I used Facebook for almost a year before I got.
And you moved to the U.S. Was it 2009?
Yes. How do you know that? That's amazing.
Oh, I did research, girl. There is some organization to my madness. That's also the year that I left Vietnam. So I kind of put two and two together. So about 2008, you were on Facebook. Were there any that you were using in Vietnamese?
Yeah. Well, Yahoo Messenger was like the thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Old school, yeah.
I was on that all the time to chat with my friends in Vietnam, and also when I was in America within the first 2 years, I think.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. And was that just for keeping up with friends, for meeting new people, for groups? What kind of?
No, it was just to chat with old friends.
Yeah.
I mean like my friend back in the day.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a friendly platform that back in the day, like all high school students used. So I started using it as I moved in the US. But then things changed after that.
This is bringing back serious memories. The first place I was on Yahoo. I was a Yahoo girl for a long time until I don't even remember why I stopped. I think Gmail was faster in getting emails. But I was on Messenger. I used Yahoo Music all the time. When I was in internet cafes in Taiwan, I'd have Yahoo Music on in the background. It was pre-YouTube. So I just had their streaming music on in the background, and I'd hear all this new music from Yahoo. And no, I had so many. So what happened to Yahoo? Yeah, they're still around, but they're not. Yeah. They're not at the forefront anymore. So interesting. Okay. And then when you moved to the U.S., did you keep going with Facebook and Yahoo Messenger, or? I
did. A few of my close friends were using Yahoo a lot. Mm-hmm. The Messenger, the chat platform. Mm-hmm. So I use that a lot to chat with my friends. Mm-hmm. But then I stopped using it for just some personal reasons. And then, I have been using Facebook sort of nonstop ever since, with the exception of a few times I sort of deleted it. Reasons that I'm sure we will continue.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to ask. Why did you delete Facebook?
Is that like a question right now, or is it going to be?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
I think I was actually dealing with social media is still a puzzle for me to understand.
Yeah.
Because I truly think that for now, that our generation, we need to have a clear reason. We need to be honest to ourselves why we use specific type of social media. Mm-hmm. Are we trying to love ourselves more by using social media? If that's the question, if that is the reason, for me, I can't use Facebook or Instagram or whatever, because that's just going to work on me.
Right.
And so it's just growing up, being by myself in the States, and dealing with living abroad, keeping friendship and connections from abroad, and growing up too, just transitioning from a teenager to a young adult, and trying to figure out college major and directions and path. It was just a lot of confusion together. Yeah. And it just messed me up. It just felt like my self-esteem or my personal emotional well-being wasn't in the right place. And I felt like Facebook or just social media in general was not helping, and actually was doing the exact opposite. And it was a distraction for me to focus on college assignment. Yeah, and so I need to focus and just like have clear space for myself, for just personal well-being. So I deleted Facebook a few times.
Yeah,
and I felt really great.
Yeah,
but then I missed my friends. You know, a lot of my friends actually reached out to me via email, and we were writing each other letters. You know, just like tell each other how things were going in our lives. And then at some point, I'm like, okay, I think I'm good now. I'm ready to get back on social media.
Yeah. So when you went off Facebook, did you go off Facebook or off of all social media at the same time?
Oh, just Facebook. I guess by social media, I'm just saying like Facebook.
Sure. And how long did you stay off most times that you deleted it?
Most time, I think I was gone for maybe, I can't remember, but I want to guess 3 months.
Okay.
4 months.
Yeah. And
2 college students, that's a long time, to be honest.
It is a long time. I tell you, I have such a struggle with Facebook. I've been off of Facebook for, oh my God, years. I don't even remember. I think it's 7 or 8 years. Because I was a lot older when Facebook came out, so it wasn't so much that it was interrupting me, my identity, my life or anything, but there were weird friendships happening. Like people I hadn't talked to for 20 years found me on Facebook, and we hadn't reached out, we hadn't written letters or emails or anything for that long, and all of a sudden I knew everything they were doing every day. And it felt like we were skipping over getting to know each other again, and it was this weird, quick intimacy. And with people I just met, they'd become my Facebook friend. And again, suddenly I would know everything about them all at once. And it felt weird to me. And I didn't want to say, no, I won't be your Facebook friend, because I did want to keep in contact with them. But I also wanted, maybe I'm too traditional, but I wanted to kind of get to know them in layers. And that was not happening. It was like everything all at once. Yeah.
Just being in, I'm skipping over a lot of things, and I it's just kind of strange. It's just a bit of information, but just being in the subway train in New York City, it's scary to realize everybody's on their phone. Yeah. It's wow. We really are talking to each other via our phone.
Well, okay, to be fair, before mobile phones and smartphones and that kind of thing, people weren't really talking to each other on the subway either.
Oh, they weren't? I wasn't.
No. It's like public transit. They're all strangers. You're tired. Like in the morning, if you're going to work, you're tired. You just want to get there. I don't know. I don't think it's that so much, but I think we're sort of in this new stage of technology that we're kind of just doing everything, and then we're going to maybe pull back a little bit and make more choices. I don't know.
Yeah. Or just like other activities that can keep us away from checking on each other's new things, or checking how many likes we get in a post.
Yeah. It can definitely distract us. That balance of online and offline life is really tricky. Really.
It's very important.
Fast forward, what do you use now in social media?
I use Facebook and LinkedIn, which I barely use LinkedIn. Actually for LinkedIn, I'm trying to kind of figure out my career moves. Sort of prepare my LinkedIn profile toward that goal.
Sure.
I haven't put much effort into polishing my LinkedIn profile, actually fully utilizing it to the full extent they can give. I have used it for work application and stuff like that, but not like to the full extent. I use Facebook. I have Instagram, but I refuse to post anything on my Instagram.
Why?
No, I had for a few years. I'm like, so you said you're kind of traditional. I think I am too. And as an artist, I guess I'm just kind of hypersensitive about things. And I'm on Instagram because I want to know what my friends are up to.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I set it up because it was like a thing that people do. So, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start an account. And I got all kind of follows and stuff like that. And I see my friend posting. But then as I reflect on my usage of Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and some of the bad habits that come from that, which is like, sometimes I'm always on Facebook, or oftentimes I realize that I check for likes or I check for positive comments, supportive comments, stuff like that. I don't want to be more distracted by that kind of mentality from another platforms of Instagram. Right. I refuse to do that. But however, I know that social media is a great tool for artists to promote their work. So hopefully in the future, I will make use of my Instagram account for my art.
Yeah. Instagram has by default turned into the main thing that I use right now, mostly because I think there's something happening with my internet in China, because I used to use Twitter mostly, and I kept getting locked out. Like once a month, Twitter would send me an email saying, hey, you're locked out. You have to do all of these steps to get back in. And I was like, eh. So I've kind of switched over to Instagram, but I don't have Facebook. So it's mostly, I check Instagram and I'm done. I have Instagram, I have email, and then I have people in real life. Like I definitely don't want a million different platforms to have to check and to look at things, because I think it can be distracting. I think it can be very connecting to find people globally doing similar things. But again, that balance between connecting with new people and maintaining the relationships you have.
Right.
Yeah. That's hard. That's really hard. Are you still connected to a lot of folks back in Vietnam via social media?
Yeah, most of my friends that I have, we still friends on Facebook. And these days, on Facebook, like actually you need to go because you haven't been on Facebook. Yeah, also on Instagram, so we kind of know, like, just even liking somebody's post shows that you care and you support them.
Yeah.
And so I try to do that to people who I'm close with, I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Sometimes I send them a message and ask, hey, how's it going? I know I haven't talked to each other for like 2 years, but how are you doing? I know that people are very busy, so don't worry about responding to me at the time, but just know that I've thought about you and I hope everything is good, whatever, so and so.
Yeah.
I do try to make that effort here and there when I actually remember to do that.
Yeah. And of course, we have to talk about your art, because you've got an amazing website with some pretty stunning artwork there. So can you kind of describe what you do?
What I do now, or what I have been doing, because I've been doing all kinds of different things.
Oh, holy cow! Okay, well, if we go by your online life, let's see. Okay, so I'm looking at your website over here. We're here. Okay. So we've got current works, 2012 to 2015. Okay, so is there kind of a chronology of your artwork? Like, are there ways we can summarize what you've done and what we can see on the website?
So I have made art since 2009 from school year and then college, but for like professional artist profile online, like our present online, we want to put our best work online. Like,
sure.
Most of the time, like our early works are just terrible. So I don't think that's the right word to describe any artwork to begin with, but like, just to be brief, I don't feel confident in my early works, though I did put my best in every of the pieces that I've created. So I just kind of curated the ones that I think are relevant or that are somewhat a accurate representation of my craft and my level of maturity in art making on my website.
Mm-hmm.
So even though the website say, let's say the section of 2012 to 2015, I created more than the amount of work posted there. It's just a few out of the body of work, and I post online.
Sure. So how would you describe the work that you're doing now?
So now I've grown interest on a personal level, and also more like a research kind of level is the idea of homemaking and the domesticity. And particularly from my own personal experience of growing up in my family household in Hanoi. And that's a personal, and then also on the research level, then I also look back into the archives of memories, photographs, cinematic footages, and the tradition of culinary, especially in my household, to create my work. And also to generally contemplate on the role of woman within the domesticity. Yeah, and so I create 2D fine art prints, some paintings, a lot of sculptures. And actually, I call them 3D structure instead of sculpture, because I don't think of them as like a functional object in space or like change how you use. Actually, I could do, but anyhow, sorry, I'm mumbling. I call them also. I call them structures instead of sculptures. And also, and alongside of structure, there's also installation where I mix a lot of mediums together, from like projections. I use the projection, lightings, cut out paper, fabric, found materials and prints. Yeah, all together to sort of investigate on the idea of homemaking or the home. The domesticity.
Hey, expats and geopats, what do you do with the annoying paper mail that you get to your old addresses in your home country? For a few years, I'd have all of my mail forwarded to one friend, and then I'd feel guilty for bothering them so much. So then I'd have a family member deal with my mail, and so on and so forth. And I did this for about 12, 13 years. And it got annoying, and let's face it, I miss some mail because people have better things to do than look after my paper correspondence. So I finally broke down and got a service from Traveling Mailboxes. They will literally receive your mail. You get a U.S. address. You get to pick the city that it's in, and you receive mail. And they'll let you know when mail comes in. They'll open it, scan it for you so you can read it. If you really need to, they'll forward it to you for a fee. You can also get packages delivered as well. And so there's like a variety of different services that you can have where you don't have to keep bugging your friends and family to deal with your paper mail. So if you go to stephfuccio.weebly.com, it's StephFuccio.weebly, WEEBLY.com. If you go to the bottom, you'll see the blue ad on the right, Traveling Mailbox. Click on that. I am now in an affiliate program with them, so if you join their services, we both end up very, very happy campers, and you never have to ask your friends or family to receive your mail again. It's truly a beautiful thing. I'm looking at your website right now, and there's one called Snowflower.
Oh, yeah, that was an old work.
Do you remember what was the inspiration for that? Because the transformation, for the listeners, I'll put the link in the show notes, but generally it looks like it's a woman that was part tree, and then she morphs into a quote-unquote normal woman, because there's two versions of, I think, the same woman. So
yeah, so that so I must apologize that I don't remember all the concepts going to that piece.
Of course, yeah.
Time ago, but I remember the general inspiration for that work is so that woman in that work is actually my friend. Her name is Mandy, and the piece is inspired by the story of and her grandpa and the bird in the story, and so. Yeah, it was inspired.
Oh, yeah, there's a bird. Yeah. Okay.
Story and her connection with that chickadee and in the wintertime in the Midwest, her grandpa. And actually, I guess I was trying to kind of gain some kind of connection with viewer on a personal, I guess, genuine and real personal level with a viewer, and by actually conveying the story in my work. I didn't create the work to sell. I just want to create a piece of art based on my friend's very touching story. Yeah, so that.
So why did you choose to put your work? Because these are physical paintings and installations and things. So why did you choose to put them on a website online?
By having a website of your works, I can include it in my resume and my just any job application or proposal for gallery show, exhibition, any like artistic professional opportunities would ask for a link of the portfolio and have a professional, clean, nicely neat done website. It's so crucial. Actually, nowadays people use Instagram instead because it reach wider audience, a lot of likes, stuff like that. However, I still think that having a website is like one of the most professional things that you could have for yourself as an artist. So yeah.
No, that's an interesting point. So you're saying that some people use Instagram as their portfolio site now?
Oh yeah.
Whoa, that's kind of crazy. When did that happen? Yeah.
People could, maybe some people may excuse it. Oh, I'm lazy to build a website, or I don't have time yet, or it's too much money, it's too much hassle, and I can just upload photos on Instagram, and I just like hashtag galleries or magazines or just like professional workplace that would recognize my work and maybe will get back to me. Like that. Yeah, social media has changed the game for artists, especially Instagram. I think you can connect with a lot of people on Instagram if your work is good.
Of course, yeah. So, do you think like galleries and stuff would look? Do you think they see a difference between if somebody gives them an Instagram feed versus gives them a portfolio site like what you have? Do you think they prefer one or the other?
Those are hard questions because I don't use Instagram to promote my artwork yet.
Sure.
I know I should. I haven't yet, but I know I should. One thing that I can give you, though, for sure, is that it's always about the work. If the work is good, people will come find you. And that's how it is with the art world. You don't come to the Met or MoMA and tell them to give you opportunities. They'll come find you if you are good. And so I think if the work is good, whether or not it's on they're on Instagram on a website, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
You will reach some audience for sure. I'm sure you can figure it out. Emailing, attending social events, gallery exhibitions, stuff like that.
That's super interesting. Wow. Big fan of the things that have changed on Instagram. They have live streams and videos and all kinds of things now that I didn't realize it because I remember it when it was just a photo, not even 2 or 3 photos together, but a photo. And it was just a stream of people posting one photo. And I'm blown away that it's used for professional purposes now. I'm just blown away. So have you received any feedback from random people that find your website and like your art and that kind of thing?
Yes, I have. Not so much now, but a few years back, I have quite a bit. And actually, the reason why I reached out to me because they found me on some sort of exhibitions. For exhibitions, usually the gallery would post information about you online, about artists, about the artist's website online. Who would click on it and then see my work, and then they would contact me via the contact page. So yeah, I don't think people would just stumble upon my website. Accident at all. It was always via a third or neutral platform of some sort.
Sure. So it sounds like you're very careful about your online presence, that you use your website and LinkedIn maybe for your professional purposes, and then you've got like Facebook and maybe email for your personal connections and relationships. Does that sound right?
Yeah. I post my work on Facebook sometimes, and I receive a lot of support from my friends, people who I have like real connection with. Yes, I'm very careful with my online presence because my emotional personal well-being is the most important thing. And then also how I come across professionally online is very important to me at this point in my life. And then I just want to get rid of distractions as much as I can.
Sure.
That's progress.
Yeah. No, that's super insightful. Like I remember, I'm really going to date myself here, but back in junior high school, like what was I, 12, 13 years old, I remember taking full-on typing classes. Like we didn't have computers in the classroom, we had typewriters and we would take typing classes. Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't have computers in my school's classrooms or even just in the school until university for me. Like that's how old I am. So I'm wondering now with social media and the internet being such a huge part of our lives, if we're going to start, always a teacher in my brain, right? I'm thinking, are we going to start having kind of like social media classes, like how to be a responsible digital citizen? Or are we going to have like how to project yourself and what to post and not post and all those kinds of things? Like, I wonder if we'll start to do that eventually.
That is a great topic.
Right?
Because I have a younger sister and she's 10 years younger than me. She's in Vietnam. She's in her final year of high school. I hope she's not listening to this podcast right now. I don't think she knows what she's doing on her social media pages. And she's not helping herself in any way to grow besides probably just hang out with friends in other platforms.
Sure.
And I would love for her or just younger kids like her to actually know properly how to use social media to keep yourself safe. Yeah, that's a number priority. And then also to actually learn something and again to have fun too. I'm sure there's a lot of fun and joy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I am so grateful that all of this came to fruition after my 20s, because I would have been one of those teenagers to go, after like 10 years after, like all the stuff I would have put online as a teenager. I would have been irresponsible and just had fun and posted stuff that really would have came to bite me in the ass. I would have been that person. So I'm kind of grateful I didn't have that opportunity. But now I'm wondering how do we do that for the next generation? Because there are even people my age and a little bit younger are still sometimes posting things when they go on vacation and just things that aren't really good to put because people, employers Google you, they looked at your social media, and there's just things that you don't want people to see. And I think there's a lot of opportunity online. There's a lot of really cool things that can happen, but I think we need to be a little more cautious. And I think it's happening, but, forever the teacher, I'm wondering how we can kind of speed people up and being aware of that.
Yeah, people can just lie about their age when they set up their Facebook or social media account. And for some reason, you have access to all these distributions of information that are not appropriate to your age.
Yeah.
Or not to begin with. And a lot of these things I worry about when I think about.
For sure. Well, I'm a huge fan of technology, so I don't want to spend too much time on the cautious part. So when you were back in Vietnam, did you frequent any websites either for reading stuff, entertainment, or anything like that?
I use Zing, which is like a music / news platform in Vietnam. That was I don't remember what else. I'm sure you use other platforms. I know there is this website called Channel 14.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a translation. Channel
Sure.
14. I wasn't a fan of it because it was always about news that like pop news that I didn't care for.
Okay.
When I was in Vietnam, I will say I never really focused on using much of any internet platform to strengthen my knowledge. Mostly, I think I try to use the internet as much as I could to study English and prepare myself to go to America.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say. Okay. And watch a lot of movies.
Yes. Yeah. What sites, do you remember what sites you used to watch movies?
I don't remember. Any free website. And also, we had like cable in our house, so I was able to watch a lot of American movies. Yeah, I think that's a great way to learn language, just to watch movies in that language.
Okay. And since you've been in the U.S., do you spend a lot of time online looking at different websites or reading or watching videos or anything?
There's this website I love called Brain Picking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. I follow them on Twitter. Yeah.
So they're my favorite. I love Being. It's another platform of pieces of really good readings to dive into. And I also, I would say Brain Picking is my primary sites to go to. And I follow a lot of other websites, but they're on my Facebook. Actually, I curated my Facebook news feed to primarily show me just updates on these academics or fun, appropriate sort of, platforms.
Sure. Gotcha. Wow. Okay.
Places like that,
Yeah. So it doesn't sound like you're that kind of person that goes online and loses 2 or 3 hours. You sound very focused on how you use the resources there. And I'm jealous if that's true. I'm very jealous.
You can, I also, spend my online time shopping, looking for things.
That's very useful.
But overall, I try to focus, spending my time on making art or cooking or hanging out with friends. As much as I can. Overall, it's a balance to do everything.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like if we're kind of going to merge your online life and your living overseas life, it sounds like your online life got bigger when you went overseas to kind of connect, like stay in contact with that world. Is that?
Yeah. I have a lot of friends on Facebook,
mm-hmm.
And I think that helps me in terms of just knowing that I have connections in places, in countries. But in terms of like the closeness of friendship, the only way for me to get that is actually to get to know people in real life. And I've got, a few friends like that from Vietnam, also from America, that I'm very close with, and for that I'm very, very grateful for. And it's always joyful and good for me to know what people from far away are up to, what they're doing. Facebook is useful in terms of that. But
do you find yourself when you meet someone, whether it be for professional purposes or social purposes, do you find meeting that person in real life, do you find that you kind of connect online too? Like you kind of combine the two worlds, or do you mostly just keep them offline? And
well, for most of my time here in the US, I was in school. And so it was a very easy situation to be friends in real life and friends online at the same time. Just see the person all the time. But outside of school, yes, in New York specifically, I have connected with people that I met for the first time on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. I met for the first time in real life, and then I also connect with them via Facebook.
Sure.
I haven't seen much of anything coming out of that at all. I don't think that's going to break anything. don't do it. I think it's always real life connection is the most important. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, very much so. So, okay. So your online presence, your professional online presence is clearly focused on art connections and future employment and that kind of thing. What is your dream job at this point after you're still in school right now, right?
No, I graduated.
You just graduated. Okay. So what is your dream job? Like what kind of organization or person do you want to see your work and go, that's it, she's the one for us, kind of thing?
I actually want my own thing. I want to create my own thing. For myself as like my dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this idea from being in graduate school, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a big dream and something that I cannot achieve immediately as
sure.
That's what dreams mean. It's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
But done if you take steps toward it. And so that, having my own business, it's my dream.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy teaching. I think that's like a natural thing for artists.
Mm-hmm.
We share how we do the things we love with others to spread the joy, but also just to like see magic happens and how to react to magic, aka the art making process. Our ideas and creativity transform into an object. That's always fun to watch. So I enjoy teaching all the time. Yeah. And I mean, I also love designing and taking part of creative projects. So I have friends here and there with their works, at their projects when I can.
Mm-hmm.
I also keep my window open to opportunities. I think with every creative endeavors, opportunities, adventures comes experience that will help feed into my future goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to keep my window open so that I can keep growing and learning and discovering things that I actually will realize that I will need in the future. Instead of being strict, like this is the only thing.
Sure.
This is me. Right.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. All of my goals are kind of like written in pencil because you never know what's going to come. No, I'm dead serious. I'm only writing in pen right now because I find if I write in pencil when I'm doing an interview that it comes up in the sound and I don't know how to remove that. So this is the only time I use a pen. I literally write everything I do in pencil because everything's so fluid. And so like you could think, oh, I want to work towards this, but then something else comes along that might even be better. And it's like, well, no, that's not my goal. I'm not going to do it. It's ridiculous. It's like, no, that's good. I'm going to go do that. So yeah, no, I think it's very, very, very smart. When you say you want to have your own business, do you mean like creating art and selling it to people or something bigger than that?
I guess basically like business is a model to sell to people products that they buy into for a self version of themselves that they want. Or whatever that they want or seek in their life. That you provide that to them. And so for my dream, it has to do with fine art and culinary together. I love cooking. And of course, with cooking, like you can always sell people's food. But then for my art thing, I create installation, I create an experience for people. And so for my dream, if I could merge the two together, that would be amazing. And again, like that requires a lot of investment on renting a place and materials and getting to know the right people, having money to pay people, whatever. It's just so many things. So yeah. Not happening yet. But it's a dream.
Do you cook a lot?
I do. It's one of those things where if I don't, I'll just do that. I also sketch and draw, but I love cooking.
Are you enjoying this conversation about our virtualness and our geographicness colliding? Me too. Hey, I would love to interview you. Do you live in a country that is not your home country? Let's talk about your experience. Let's do it. Contact me at stephfuccio, STEPHFUCCIO @gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on any of my social media platforms. I am Steph Fuccio on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. So contact me. Let's line this up. I would love to get your opinion into these questions out into the world. Let's do it. I feel the need to talk about Vietnamese food for a second. So you lived in South Dakota and Ohio, and you're now in New York. Did you find any good Vietnamese food in South Dakota or Ohio?
Not Ohio.
Okay.
I lived in Athens, Ohio, very small town. But in Sioux Falls, I lived in like a bigger city in South Dakota.
Okay. Yeah.
That was very nice to be able to find a Vietnamese restaurant. Yeah, in South Dakota, yes. Ohio, no. New York, yes. Way too many.
Yeah.
I cook a lot, and I love feeding people with good food. And so when there's no restaurant, like my kitchen is a restaurant, and I miss food, and I have friends over.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. Yeah, Shanghai has so many different kinds of food. I mean, it's a giant city, but Vietnamese food is sadly underrepresented here. Vietnamese food and Indian food is really, really underrepresented. And every time I go to a new Vietnamese restaurant that opens up, I just kind of go, no, it's just not. I don't think anything's ever going to be as good as being in Hanoi, but it's just bad. Like there were some okay places in San Francisco. There were some,
sure.
I think there was one in Kuala Lumpur. In Hong Kong, there was some good Vietnamese food. But for some reason, Shanghai just... It's like the black hole of good Vietnamese food. It's so sad.
Oh, so close. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, okay. So we have kind of touched on the negative parts of a reckless online presence. But what would you say, like, when you moved from Vietnam to U.S., again, I know this is years and years ago, what do you think... Was there a positive influence that having access to the internet had on that shift in geography and culture and all that kind of stuff?
I got a lot of emotional support from my friends.
Mm-hmm.
When I first moved here, I really missed home. And I felt really lonely. Mm-hmm. And I longed for that comfort of being in Hanoi with people that I am close with. And so I posted pictures, a lot of pictures and status information where I was doing online, and my friends from home would comment on them, show me support, show me love, and that was so helpful to help me to prepare myself to stay long term in the U.S. And I'm forever grateful for how much they were there for me when I didn't have anybody.
Yeah. How long do you think? I mean, I know you make a conscious effort to stay in contact with people, but it sounds like there was more contact with them during that challenging period. When do you think that dropped off and you didn't need that support so much?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
I wish I knew about these things from other people's perspective. Like I wish I knew about other people's stories with Facebook. Like in 2010, 2009, 2011. Because I do think that the use of Facebook, like the trend of Facebook use has also shifted tremendously ever since 2009 to now 2018.
Sure.
So I don't know if my experience is universal, but I think my interaction, or even with friends and with Facebook in general, dropped around my I would say my senior year of college, which was 2014. And they kind of gradually led to that point. I think it's like when people start working, having jobs or moving, everybody just moved overseas, then everybody's like so busy. with their own things, and they no longer we no longer just children. We actually we're studying, yes, we're students, but we have like just serious things to do, which is like paying rent, affording to live in a big city, things like that.
Yeah.
Somehow we cannot afford just being sort of funny and like naive and playful on social media with each other as much anymore. And it becomes much of less of priorities in every way in our lives. So I would say that's one component. What else? There is this niche of from my experience alone, for me living overseas and growing to become a person of who I am with my life in America. Sometimes I just feel like I need to distance myself from like the past. Sometimes just to help myself focus on the present and the presence of social media interaction with like past connections in Hanoi, who actually, for example, are now living somewhere else. They don't even live in Hanoi anymore. My friends live in so many other countries in the world, and somehow like presence of social media now is kind of represent some sort of the past history. We kind of become melancholy. I know I kind of talk a little artistic.
No, you got my brain going. That's why I'm making faces. I'm like, oh my God, you're bringing up so many different thoughts in my mind. Like one thought is I was talking to someone the other day and we were talking about, it's so geeky, but verb tenses in different language or just time in different languages, how some languages have like, English has the verb inflections, I am, I was, that kind of thing. And I know I'm studying Mandarin Chinese and there isn't so much of a verb inflection, but there's other ways to talk about time. And I, all of a sudden, as I was talking about the linguistic part of it, it dawned on me that I feel like the past has a certain heaviness to it, not necessarily negative, but there's a certain weight that comes with the past for me. And I feel like that needs to be highlighted in language somehow. And with just the word yesterday, it doesn't seem heavy enough for all of the things that come with that heaviness. And why this connects to what you just said is because sometimes when I'm walking around, like now I've lived in Shanghai a while. We lived here 8 years ago. We came back. It's almost 2 years. I'm familiar with the city enough where it feels like my daily life is here. I don't think we'll be here long term, but it feels like I live here. I'm not just like visiting or, oh, this is a new street. I live here. But sometimes when I'm walking down the street, I'll think of someplace back in the US and I'll kind of see that place for a second and I'll go, wait, I'm back in China. Or I'll see someplace in Hanoi because I was there for almost 3 years, or I'll see someplace in Japan that I lived in. Like different places will kind of come into and bring kind of the heaviness of the past into my present just randomly. Does that ever happen to you?
It happens.
Really?
All the time. Like,
what do you do when it happens?
Honestly, it happens in songs, in cooking. Just like when I mix different materials together, and that's it. 10 years ago, just popped into my head in my kitchen as I mix this material, or even I remember things to make work. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I memory is my artistic part. So you can say that I'm a psychopath to some degree, but I really treasure my memories of my past. And I also know to myself well that I know that I need to balance that with keeping up to date with the contemporary life, technology, whatnot. But memories and time is definitely my interest in my artistic practice. I curate things around me, things in my room, things in my life that can best, I guess, cultivate my curiosity with art making.
If there was an art scene like you wanted in Hanoi and you had stayed there, do you think these themes, these images would have come to you, or do you think it's the act of leaving and kind of reflecting that brought it out of you?
I would say some other things, but probably in a similar direction. Because I really struggle with understanding the domestic dynamic in my family, like the gender role that entails our actions and behaviors in interaction with each other. I think that's my biggest struggle in terms of like where I'm from. I think that has a lot to do with the histories and religion and politics and everything and cultures, everything from each other that create the dynamics in my household the way it has been. It becomes my artistic interest. In terms of my decision of making art, being an artist, or how my art changed, comparing from here to Vietnam, I was never able to see myself as an artist in Vietnam because of the educational system. As you probably know a little bit about, like you didn't even have art program in high school.
Right.
Like that, art music was banned from high school, from public high schools. It was one of the major turnoff for me.
Right.
The other one is again just super tradition, not tradition, like old and no longer working system to educate children and channel their curiosity and their talents and their gifts on anything. Instead, I'm gonna just go on and talking about myself. But if I was to stay in Vietnam, I would never become an artist. Given the education system the way it is and my family dynamic the way it was.
Part of the goal with this particular podcast is I'm trying to tease out what is the effect, if any, of our online lives with our living overseas lives. Do they affect each other? Do you feel like your online life and your life as someone not from the U.S. living in the U.S., do you feel like those are two different entities, or do you feel like there's a place that they connect?
The place where those two connects is how often I post, the quality of information that I share, and how I come across online. And also, I think that's also my mentality, my mental space of who I care to give to read my information, and sort of limit out the rest. Sounds kind of cold, but it's a lot to deal with being in between two places.
Yeah, it is.
Or between 5 places. It's a lot.
It is.
Yeah, sometimes I would post things in Vietnamese if my intent was to show my friends that I care that, okay, this post is only for you. Well, I have 600 friends. Most of them are American, and I only care to hear from you. I only care for you to read my post.
Right.
And that's for me. That's for me to be clear to myself that I want to express some sort of care and attention toward this group of people, even though they probably are not going to help me anymore in my future, whether in job or money or whatever. They don't. But I care about them because they are my people, and that is for my well-being. I try to limit the search for attention and for approval and stuff like that on my online presence as much as possible. And I'm very careful with it. Because like again, my mental well-being is like the most important thing for me in terms of social media. And I would actually, it's kind of a funny trick, is that my audience on Facebook would be like only me. Yeah. So I would click my post and click like update, like post. And my audience is only me. Yeah. And then I wrote it, like, was that for me to seek attention and approval, or was that purely to share information or to sort of inspire us? Interest or creativity or dialogues. If it's for the second purpose, and I will change it to friends only, like the audience, friends only, or the public. If it's like an event that I'm trying to advertise, if it's like for myself and for my insecurity, then I will delete it.
How did you get to this really, really aware state of your onlineness? Like, was there someone that you saw being very careful and you kind of went, okay, I want to start doing that? Or was it just trial by error where you just made some mistakes and then pulled back?
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. I pulled back. I think during my college years, I let, I guess the use of social media dictate so much of my satisfaction and my, like a better word, happiness. I think when I was younger, for like every information I put out there, I became insecure about myself. You know, I was waiting to hear something back, whether it's like via like private message or the public platform, the Facebook, the wall, the news feed. And so I realized a pattern of my emotional breakdown from that activity. And so then I've come to a conclusion over time that, okay, if it's happening again, I'm waiting to hear from people. If people don't respond to my message or don't comment on my post or whatever, I feel like I was wrong, or I was not good enough, or I felt guilty for something that I don't even know what yet. I feel like it's my fault. Yeah. Even though it wasn't much of anything of a big deal, or it actually wasn't even in a picture of anybody's state of mind. It was just my own personal insecurity and just confusion, and more like I was just way too genuine with, or too caring about things that don't matter. Yeah. And so I just so much. I can relate so much to what you're saying. Like, so like mirror image of that experience. Yeah, that's amazing. So I gradually realized that pattern and how social media fed into that. And so I think the tactic of only me or friends only or for the public to see came into the picture to help me take care of myself. Yeah. No, I think that's a really, really important thing. I wonder if it's possible to have an online presence without going through that period of doing it. I don't know. Like, how do we find out what's comfortable for us without kind of going too far and then coming back? And can we skip that step at all, or do we have to go through that? I don't know. No, I'm curious too, because a lot of people seem like they have no hard time at all dealing with social media. Oh no! If they say that out loud, they're lying. I've heard a lot of people, not online so much, but I've heard a lot of people talk about this offline. Usually years after they've made the mistakes that change their behavior. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about this. This kind of, figuring out where and what you want to do online by making mistakes. It seems to be the only way to do it right now. So, I don't know. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they don't post enough to make mistakes, or maybe they don't use social media at all. I don't know. I don't know. We have a few different ways that you can feedback. So if you go to stephfuccio.weebly.com/contact, let me do that a little slower. STEPHFUCCIO
weebly.com/contact. You'll see all kinds of ways you can contact me and let me know what you think of this podcast. I have email, WeChat if you're in China, Twitter, LinkedIn, and my new favorite thing is SpeakPipe. Over on the right-hand side of that page, you'll be able to leave a sound recording, basically a voice message. You just hit the start recording button that's in bright orange. I can also respond in a voice message there as well. It's a really, really cool feature. I can't believe they have this available for free, but until they get smarter about that, I'm going to take advantage of it because it is such a cool feature. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your input. For future interviews on this topic, the intersection between living in a different place and our online existence and how they affect each other, what question do you think I should ask people in the future?
Well, that's a really great question. Also, the first questions that I want to know from people is that what do you use social media for? You kind of asked me the questions already. Or just, try to challenge people to be honest to themselves first and also share that with you. Hopefully, honest reasons of why they use social media in one way. Just hearing everybody's honest experience and struggles, the emotional levels of social media. So just good to know. And just the different people's approach to solve that matrix would be nice and comforting for the audience to hear, and also to reflect back on their own experience. I think the questions, when you brought up about educating younger audience, like younger kids, on how to properly use social media, it's like a requirement in the school setting or something. That actually is a very good topic, I think, to just to urge for discussion between people. It's like a life skill kind of thing, it seems like, too. Because social media is a public platform, and how you present yourself in that platform. I think it's the skill to
it really is.
I've never taught how to do it right. So I'm still a bit nervous about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know how to begin with. But
I think it's part of the messiness of the internet right now. Like, we have so much, just in general, we have so much online, but it's not really organized in a way that's good. And I think our social media presence is part of that messiness, as we're just kind of doing lots of things, but we're not really fully kind of organizing or strategizing what we're doing. And it's part of the beauty of the opportunities of the internet. But I think at some point we have to pause and reevaluate things. Oh, it sounds so serious. I really am a big fan of technology and the internet and everything it can do for us, but there is a downside too.
Right. Totally.
Yeah. So if we can very cheesily end on a positive note of something, I don't know, do you have any surprising stories or any good things that happened because of the opportunities on the internet or your social media connections, or I don't know, a positive story of your onlineness?
My all-time favorite is receiving emails from old friends and old professors. Share with me about their week or their day, ask me how I'm doing, as if we literally are talking to each other in person, but we are talking the letters. That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Because that shows we're real friends. We're real friends. We're going to be friends for a long time. It shows a lot of care too. Because these days, people show care by liking somebody's pictures or post, and just receiving emails of a paragraph or two. That just makes my day. I love it. I found my current apartment via Facebook. I was able to connect with people to find this place and rent this place, which I love. So that's a very positive a thing on social media. Yeah. Just like in New York City, a lot of people, do the same thing where they put, their stuffs out there on social media to sell, or, their room and stuff like that, and kind of just go into strangers' houses to buy furniture or to get.
Yeah.
The other day, I went and got a free shelf from this twin sister in Astoria, and I was like just have conversations with them, like, so why are you guys moving? And it's like, oh, we're moving to California. We got this cool video production job opportunity for BuzzFeed, both of us, and we are twins. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
and, let's just connect for a little bit. And I think that when social media interaction is into like a real life interaction, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Like you just said that social media helped you find an apartment in New York City. That's amazing. I was born in New York City, but I haven't lived there for a very, very long time. But there's a joke in a lot of American media, I'm sure you've heard it, where there's constant jokes about how hard it is to find an apartment, an affordable apartment in New York City. In fact, in an old movie now, what is it called? When Harry Met Sally, one of the main characters said that he feels like the obituary section and the apartment rental section should be combined to say, this person unfortunately died today, but they left behind a beautiful 2-bedroom in the Upper West Side, that kind of thing. So the fact that social media has made that easier is, wow, that's a huge change.
Yeah. And this page is catered specifically to people in the arts. So a lot of artists. Yeah. Together and like trying to help each other out. But however, the page also taken by like realtors a lot of the times. But it's a different story. But yeah, actually, because I'm living right now, actually my roommate, it's an alumni from my graduate school who I didn't even know. I just came in and found the news. And I was like, so you live in Athens? That's where I went to school. I'm like, there's only one school in Athens. Yeah. And so we were, that's amazing. Wow. We went to the school, and it was in Ohio, it was even in New York City. And so, yeah, there's a lot of support groups out there.
For sure.
If you have intention clear of why you're doing what you do on social media.
Yeah. Definitely.
Those are positive.
Yeah, that's a lot of positive. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Well, I have so much to think about after this chat. You not only curate your art, my dear, you curate your online life in a way that's really positive and really careful to the point where it is a tool and it doesn't, you work the internet, it doesn't work you. And that's a really positive thing. And I think it's really, really cool that you've gotten to that place. Really cool.
Thank you. It's still very much a learning.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a work in progress. And I feel I need to be more out there. I need to be more connecting with people. And so, I'm also an introvert. And that explains a lot about my curatorial process. It's a constant work in progress. But in terms of my emotional well-being, I think I'm in a much more stable place than I used to be when I was much younger. Because of platform. So
and that's awesome. Thank you so much for doing this today. Oh my gosh. I think my listeners are going to go crazy listening to this, like in a good way. I think they're really going to enjoy your perspective on all of this.
Thank you for reaching out to me. That's amazing. I was really glad to hear from you.
It was kismet. You were like, hey, I've just moved to New York City. And I was like, we've got to talk. like we've so got to talk.
So you're from New York City?
Yeah. I was born in Brooklyn, and then my family moved to Long Island when I was 3, and then we moved to Pennsylvania when I was 8. So my formative years were in New York, but I have not visited since I was. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say I haven't been to New York in 25 years. It's been a long time. Yeah. But I have to visit at some point because my husband has never been to New York City, and he's an American who's never been to New York City, and
It's my first city. Every city I go to, even now, I compare to New York City. Even though I'm sure that New York City in my head is not the New York City that exists, it's my first city. So I compare everything to it. So thank you so much. Seriously. I'm so happy to reconnect to you today. I hope to see you at some point somewhere IRL.
Have a great day.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Virtual Expat. And special thank you again to Damon Castillo for the music and to our special guest this time. If you'd like to be interviewed for this podcast, just send me an email or contact me on social media. In the show notes, you can find all my information, or you can just jot it down right now. Are you ready? Here we go. Steph Fuccio, STEPHFUCCIO, Gmail, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. There you go. Contact me. Oh, also LinkedIn too. You know what? I keep forgetting about that one. Hey, thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to your questions, comments, feedback, any information, and volunteering to be on the podcast as well. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day, on or offline.
When I clock out of the hospital at 6 p.m., I'm not done for the night. That's when Gamer Nurse 40 clocks in, and she's got orcs to slay. Sure, I'm playing a 13-year-old in Scranton, but he's a level 53 mage with a filthy mouth, so I need to stay on top of my game. What'd you call me? That's when I crack open a Heineken 0.0. Zero alcohol, but just as refreshing. So I can focus on stealing his gold before his mom tells him it's bedtime. Take that, kids.
Heineken 0.0. 0.0% alcohol. Now you can. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy responsibly.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
You know what's wrong with health and fitness? You weaponize it against yourself. Why didn't you go to the gym today? You're so lazy. Why did you eat that? You have no self-control. Stop it. At Beachbody, we think training and caring for your body in a way that works best for you should be about loving yourself. Let us help you without all the judgment. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.